AJ Reisig here. Today I'm going to show you how to do a minimal install of Ubuntu. Now you may be wondering, what is a minimal install? Well, I've got their wiki page up right here. Talks a little bit about doing a minimal install, and you can also download the minimal ISOs from here. Basically what it does, we ditch the normal Ubuntu installer and it uses a text-based installer. And as you are doing the install, it downloads the packages as needed. So because of that, you've got a much smaller ISO. If you look at the introductions here, it says that it shrinks the size of the install ISO from 5 to 30 megabytes depending on the architecture. So that's going to fit on a CD as opposed to a DVD, which we've had to use for the past couple of releases. Granted, a lot of people go and use a USB and install that way, but CDs are dirt cheap. And there's other reasons for doing the minimal install, because when you do the minimal install, you can do, and this is what I'm going to show you to do here, is do what you could consider just a core install, which is you're just going to install the core Ubuntu architecture, and then after that's installed, then you can go back and, working via command line, you can go and install whatever applications you want, whatever desktop environment you want, all that sort of thing. So it opens up a lot of options for you. One, maybe there is a desktop environment that there's not a Ubuntu version of. Maybe you want just a window manager. Maybe you want to add just Fluxbox or PEC window manager, or a black box, or just a simple window manager. This would allow you to do that. And also, and we've probably all run into this, where we've installed a distribution and there's tons of software packages included that you will never ever use. Well, you can either leave it on there. It doesn't necessarily hurt anything. You can go and uninstall all that extra software, but you're going to have to go in and find all the stuff that you're not going to use and whatnot. Or if you're going this route, you're basically starting from scratch. You get that base Ubuntu architecture, you go and you put on the desktop environment you want, and then you only install the software packages that you want. So depending on what you're installing on, doing your installation on, this could be a big plus. Like, say you've got a low-powered netbook, don't have a whole lot of space on the hard drive to begin with, a fairly low power Atom processor, this might be the ticket for you, because that way you can go with that light installation. And you can get a light installation with, say, Ubuntu, or there's some other Ubuntu based distributions that are fairly lightweight, but this way you can set it up the exact way that you want. So anyway, once again, I've got the the Ubuntu community page right here. It talks all about doing the minimal installs, and from here you've got the links so that you can download the various ISOs. I am using 64-bit of Ubuntu 14.04, and if you look here, they've got, there's a whole bunch of different ones you can download. There's the 14.10, 14.04, 13.10, 12.04, 10.04. So there's a variety there of what you can download and work with. So go and burn it to a CD or DVD, and then it's just like, and as far as that section of things, it's just like a normal not normal install, but normal burning of the ISO. Nothing's changed there. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate how to do this install via VirtualBox. So VirtualBox being what it is, it's going to be a fairly slow process, so I will probably start and stop the video quite a few times through the process. But I'll do my best to do a demo for you so you can see what this is all about, and hopefully you find it useful. Okay, so this is what we see at the beginning here. Just click enter for the install. We don't need the command line install, just the regular install. Alright, for a while this is just going to be following the directions here. You can see where we need to pick our language. Okay, pick our country. And let's see, you can try to detect keyboard layout. I never do this. I always just select it myself. Most of the time, at least for me, since I'm US, it picks the right one anyway. Okay, we'll call this minimal. And we'll just stick with the standard, the standard mirrors. We don't need to worry about HTTP proxy. So just continue. And it's going to start downloading the files. So this part can sometimes take a little while. So I'm going to pause the video while it does that. Alright, that's installed. So now we've got to create our user account. So password again. Yes, I know it's a weak password. No, I don't want to encrypt the home directory. As you can see, you're basically being asked the same things that are asked in the standard Ubuntu installer. It's just that you're using a text-based installer as opposed to the graphical. Let's see. Yes, time zone's correct. Alright, now we're to the partitioning. Just for time's sake, I'm just going to use the guided, let it decide where to put everything and whatnot. If you're used to going and manually doing the partitions yourself, which is what I normally do, go right ahead. You can do that. You just scroll down to the manual and go from there. Just pick whatever one you want to do. Since this is VirtualBox, I'm not going to worry about setting up particular partitions. Normally, I like to have a separate root and home file, or home, or you know what I'm talking about. Let's see, write the changes to disk. Yes. And now it will install the base system. Alright, so all that has installed. Now we're at how we want to handle updates. I typically pick install security updates automatically. Everything else I'll manage myself. Okay, now here's a critical step right here. At this point, you could go and you see you've got this big long list of different things that you can install, and basically, like, let's say for example, and you can see the little red dot moving up and down. If I wanted to do the complete Ubuntu desktop, I could go and click one of those, or click that right there. I would get the full Ubuntu desktop, or say the Ubuntu full desktop, or minimal, and you can see you just go up and down the list here. And pick what it is that you would like to install. You don't have to pick one, and actually I am not going to, because after the core is installed, I'm going to come back and via command line I'm going to install what I want and only what I want. So we're just going to tab to the continue. and it will select and install some software. Okay, and now we're going to install our Grub bootloader. And that should go pretty quick. Updating the Grub. Setting up the user and password, clock settings. Yes, we are set to UTC, so we'll just click yes. Okay, so installation is complete. So, what we've done is we've got our core system installed. So now I'm going to reach over, remove the CD from the computer, and we can click continue, and it will reboot. Okay, so as you can see, we're just command line now. So put our login, our password, boom, we're ready to go. Now basically it's just like working on the terminal, and so we can start installing our desktop environment and whatnot. So from this point, there's a lot of different directions that you go depending on what desktop environment you want to work with. So I really can't tell you everything that that you may want to install, but as an example, I'm going to do a minimal Gnome core install. So basically, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to give you a Gnome 3 desktop with only the minimal stuff needed to run that desktop. So what we're going to do, we need sudo get install. So what we're going to install first, we're going to install xorg so that we can actually have a display, and then we're going to go gnome-core gnome system tools. That should give us the minimum that we need to get things running. Put in our password. Click yes that we want to install this, and just kick back and let it do the installation. Now I've got and I'll throw up this page for reference for you so you can take a look at it, and I was using it as a reference on some of the different things that you can install. But let's say that you do like Unity, or whether it's Ubuntu or Xubuntu, you want the desktop environment installed, but not with all the apps. Okay, so you can still do the sudo apt-get install. Obviously, you still need the xorg, so you go ahead and install that. But now you could do, and this is assuming that you wanted Unity, after the sudo apt-get install, -- no install recommends, and then Ubuntu-desktop. And let's say that you wanted Kubuntu but no apps. You did the same thing there with no install recommends, then Kubuntu desktop, or same thing with Ubuntu. However you want to go as far as a complete desktop environment went. And that way, like I said, it'll give you just what you need to get things up and running. Okay, so all that installed, so let's see what we got. And as you see, we've got our Gnome installation. You see you got, a standard Gnome desktop here, but if we go to and click on activities, go to show applications, and I'm sorry if this is kind of small because I'm working in VirtualBox, but as you can see, normally you'll have like 4 or 5 pages, say if you were installing Ubuntu Gnome, of applications. We've got 2 here, and if you look, most of it is, you got your Bluetooth manager, your color manager, display manager, that sort of thing, the stuff that you need to manage your desktop environment. The only real applications that were installed is we've got Firefox there and Empathy, and that's basically it. Everything else is something that it's a setting or whatever. Oh, I guess you could consider your file manager to be an application. Anyway, like I said, from this point on, now you can go and install all the applications that you want. You won't have the bloat of all the extra applications that you will never ever use. And that's about all she wrote on this. Like I said, the sky's pretty much the limit on what you can do as far as doing a custom configuration. Maybe you just want a very lightweight window manager and just a couple of apps on there, so you're nice and lightweight and whatnot. Or maybe you got something really special planned, or you just want to make it your personalized desktop, however you want to go about it. But like I said, I hope this is pretty useful for you. If you liked the video and thought it was useful, give it a big old thumbs up. As always, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And thanks a lot. We'll see you on the next video.